Welcome, everybody. Start of a new season is upon us as the kickoff for the 2023 ARCS racing season's well and truly underway here in Los Angeles. It's the LA Coliseum. It is for the second year in a row, the Clash at the Coliseum. I'm Carmen Hardy, alongside me, Kevin Young, bringing you tonight's action here from the LA Coliseum. It's the LA Clash and qualifying underway. Kevin, it's obviously great to have you on in the booth here for tonight's event. But the Coliseum, it's a unique track, no pit lane to really speak of. What kind of racing are we kind of expecting tonight? Qualifying well and truly underway. There's 25 cars in line for tonight's event. Qualifying currently ongoing. We'll take a look here at one of the cars that are running. Josh Garrison. A lot of shifting around, a lot of new numbers that we're going to have to get used to from the draft we saw couple weeks ago. But now it's all in full swing as drivers get used to the teams that they're on now. Josh Garrison, we're looking at the number 18 machine as we get everything hooked up broadcast-wise. Make sure everything is good to go on our end. Last night's event at Rockingham, the Saturday Night Showdown race, was a thriller. Several of the drivers from that series also taking part in tonight's race. Currently top of the board, I believe, is Tommy Reynolds, number 7. Gonna be a lot of fun here. Obviously, Josh Garrison was setting his lap time. We got to see that run. Most of the drivers have already set a run here. As we get ready to go. Doing a couple of slight adjustments as we get ready to go here. New season. Getting through the teething pains. Absolutely. Toby Estes, yeah. That's going to be something to get used to for me. I'm used to the Bandit Racing team being in Toyotas. They're in Chevrolets now. Obviously, Estes went from the 78 to the 29. Bradley Wright went from the 18 to the 8. Toby Estes, 7th fastest on that second lap, excuse me. Brandon Fetterplace had a race win as a part-timer last season. Moved from the number 80 to the number 34. But his win came on a road course. Fantastic battle between him, Noah Belleville, and Ben Roberts. Starting in swing and full go. A unique facility here, the LA Coliseum. Again, as I mentioned, no pit lane to speak of, so whatever happens in these little races is going to be just how you have to roll with it. There's heat races, there's a consolation, and 27 drivers will get into the main event. So everyone will make it into the feature, just a matter of where they start. We'll have heat races that determine that. So that's going to be a lot of fun as we get ready to go.
You don't usually get to see heat races in any real NASCAR competition. The only ones that it brings up for is the Clash race, obviously, and I think they were trying it for Bristol Dirt at least a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, yeah, heat racing is not really a thing you see in modern NASCAR, so it's always a treat to see when you get to see some heat races. Jeremy Breo goes around the first lap there, only good for P25. Bren Roberts also heading out to the track as well, so we'll see what either driver can do.
Reigning champion entering the Clash here. Not a good first lap. Second lap, was it enough to improve? It was, but only by one position.
Mm-hmm.
Bren Roberts, Sunday Money Racing, 2 race wins to his name. Driver the number 1, Coca-Cola machine, very much a throwback to the 1998 Japan races.
P14 for him there, and we also see him in the Champ Car Series run that similar paint scheme, so he does love that scheme. Let's see what the second lap can do for Mr. Bren Roberts. He's going to cross the line. Can he go any faster than 14th? He will not improve on his time, so he will slot in the 14th, and that will be as far as he goes. But looking at the times, it's kind of excluding like the 24th, 25th, and 26th perspective, from Reynolds to Elric George is about covered by 8/10ths, and the top 4 are all within a tenth of each other. So very competitive, close lap field, but you do expect that in short track racing, where it's very hard to find little ample amounts of time because of how short a lap time it is.
So Bren Roberts, 14th. It's Reynolds, Gaiman, Wanzing, and Leiter, top 4. So Leiter, the series rookie, coming in from the OAP Cup Series. Driver number 83, Briley Wright, alongside Tom Sears in row 3 is going to be how it looks. Well, I say that. Heat Race is going to jumble up all the starting order. But it should still be a lot of fun.
That qualifying only decides what heat race you're going to be starting in.
Oh, yeah.
So. And those heat races are important because it's not really that good of a passing track. So you want to be up front by the end of that heat race. So qualifying here well will get you a good starting spot in the heat race. And then from the heat race, if you can finish well there, puts you in a good chance to win when the main feature hits. We're just waiting out dying minutes of qualifying here. We got about 1 minute and 10 change left here. So it looks like most of the field's actually set times here, except for maybe one odd drive that has not. We're just waiting the clock out here.
Yeah, about 1 minute left in qualifying here, if my timer is correct. But again, all 26 cars set a qualifying lap time. So we should be good to go here. For everyone that's tuning in for the Clash here at the Coliseum, it's the 2nd annual running of it here in LA. It kicked off the 2022 season. Emma Kruger sharing her perspective as much as she's talked about this track. The atmosphere is an incredible one. That's something that this series does. It's the pinnacle of ARCS stock car competition for a reason. And just the atmosphere in itself to kick off this season, knowing that Daytona is about 2 weeks away exactly. It's a bit of a realization that, hey, this season's coming up now. It's time to get down to business. And it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got this, and then you got qualifying for the said 500 and then the 500. So this is kind of your real only consolation chance to really kind of get set up for this new next-gen car. Even though you had a calendar year to get used to from last season, still more chance to get going because after this, it's going to start mattering a lot more.
All right, so here's the grid for heat race number 1. Tommy Reynolds, front of the field. Matt Leiter on the outside front row. Toby Estes, Emma Kruger, Dustin Painter, Jacob Blankenship. That's the top 6. Donald Ray, Josh Garrison, and Jeremy Breo round out the 9-car field for this first heat race. A big mix-up field to get this first heat underway. Tommy Reynolds, a race win at Sonoma. Jeremy Breo, the defending series champion. Donald Ray, 2 race wins last season. Jacob Blankenship, 5 race wins last season. Dustin Painter, obviously very much an expert on short oval racing and dirt racing. This is right in his wheelhouse. Emma Kruger, one of the 2 series rookies in this event, or in this grid, I should say, right behind Matt Leiter. Kruger, 6 champ car race wins, but very much in completely new waters as they take on this challenge.
Yep, it's going to be interesting to see. Some are going to sink, some are going to swim. They're going to go one more time around here on a pace lap, and they're going to set them loose. But yeah, Breo obviously not in a starting spot he wants to be in. Defending champion starting P9 in this heat race. He's going to have a long work to go here, but not that many laps. So we'll see how it shakes up here as the pace car is going to take the hard pull off here this time by.
Here's the pace car pulling off. The first heat is underway. And Leiter with a really good jump. Breo.
Oh, the Leiter around in front of the middle of the field there. And that's going to be basically a block up there. 83 involved. And at least I think Kruger and Garrison as well. So a couple
Garrison
good cars
didn't have
are
anywhere
already
to go.
Damage.
And remember these heats, so this is something that's new. For those that didn't watch through ARCS Racing Networks last year, there's no cautions in these heats. That's something that I think people are going to kind of get used to, is that there's no cautions in these heats. These heats are short. There's up to 2 cautions in the consolation race, which will come later on the night. And then obviously regular caution procedure for the actual main event, the feature race later on this evening. But for the heats, you're fighting tooth and nail to see where you end up here in this, as far as where you'll start the main event.
Yep, we got a good battle here shaking up between Painter and Breo here, as Breo started last, was able to avoid the chaos on that opening lap, and now he's trying to take the inside here away from Dustin Painter, and that's the way you're going to make a pass around here. You're going to have to get the elbows out. It's not the friendliest of waves, but that's still the old short track racing, and the 74 is going to get clear. Can Painter have a way to answer back here going into corner 1, and it looks like the 74 is going to lock it up, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, Breo locked it up massively. Dustin Painter forced a little bit of a mistake there, but couldn't capitalize on it. Breo again running a little bit wide, having to cut that apex short. And that's something you'll see in a lot of short track racing. A lot of beating and banging, a lot of chrome horn being used as Painter got turned by Breo.
Oh, yep. That's not going to make any friends here, as he's going to be wrong way. He's going to get refired, but he's going to lose at least a couple spots. And no love lost right now between the 74 and Dustin Painter. And more collision there. Couple
Painter
more cars
was trying to get
in
into pit lane, and Kruger was just trying to fill the gap, trying to get by. Nothing they could do on that one. Just miscommunication. They're trying to get out of the way. Reynolds leads over Estes, Breo, and Donald Ray. Heat race number 1 is chaotic.
Tommy Reynolds has basically set sail off the race 1. I can say off the race restart, and he's currently about a second clear of Estes. And Estes is not really making that many inroads on him, so bearing a random mistake from Reynolds, it looks like the top 2 are pretty much locked, and I probably would argue maybe the rest of this field is pretty much how it's going to say, unless a mistake is made. Watching Breo. Breo's taking these corners very aggressive here. He's trying to catch up to Toby, because he knows it's better to start. If he can try to close the gap, he can at least start a little bit farther up. It may be better in the long run, but he's not really making that good inroads. Estes just sets the fast lap of the race, and he actually gets around Tommy Reynolds. We have a change in the lead.
With 3 laps to go,
I think Reynolds made a mistake.
The mistakes have been key, and we saw Donald Ray make a couple of mistakes. We saw Breo, obviously, his battle with Dustin Painter. Coming to the white flag. One lap to go in Heat 1.
Only thing they'll have to deal with is the lap down vehicle, the 33. And so get out of the way here, hit the wall, and it's going to be Toby Estes winning this heat race. Tommy Reynolds wondering what happened. He'll finish second, and Jeremy Breo will bring his machine home in third, and Donald Ray will bring it fourth. So it just shows how easy it is to make a slight mistake there. As while we were kind of watching different battles, Tommy Reynolds locked it up going into corner 1 with a couple laps remaining, and he ended up throwing away that race. So now we're going to move on to Heat 2 here with another 9-car field that consists of Joshua Gaiman going to lead him off, Briley Wright in second, Austin Purnell in third, Brandon Featherplace in fourth, Bren Roberts in fifth, Ryan Pennell in sixth, Cody Pennell in seventh, Elric George in 8th, and James Kerr the 3rd, rounding out 9th in your 9-car field here for the heat.
Heat race number 2. Going to be a lot of fun here. Josh Gaiman, Briley Wright. This is a very power-packed heat race number 2. Fetter Place in the 34. That's Purnell in the 32. We saw Purnell race phenomenally. Unfortunately, bad luck for him last night in the Saturday Night Showdown season opener at Rockingham. Ryan Purnell in P5. He put on a clinic. It was fun watching him come to the field. He's had a lot of technical issues these last couple of years. Just reliability and latency issues. But he's come to the fore in a lot better way. Just to kick off 2023, just seems a bit more confident. Ben Roberts obviously in this group. That's going to be a lot of fun watching him try to go through the field. Cody Purnell in the 50. Elvis George in 22. James Kerr riding out this field in the 75. A lot of good drivers, a lot of race winners from last year in the field tonight in heat race number 2.
This is a very competitive field here, and it's just going to be a very interesting battle to watch here. Pace are going to take the pole off here, and it's going to be on Joshua Gaiman to kind of set the tone here and try to bring home a victory, but we know other cars are going to bring the competitiveness. So pace car pulls off, green flag in the air, and Gaiman going to get a late lunge there, and away they go. You can already see the 34 thinking about making a move there, but going into 1, Gaiman going to come up, close the outside, not allowing the 8 of Briley Wright to do anything, and that's also going to allow Austin Purnell to take the inside. And we do see a car looping in the back there. That's 2 vehicles. That's Feather Place involved, and he's wrong way around.
Got it right way around pretty quickly.
We'll jump back to the battle here. Bren Roberts saw an open hole. He's going to get a little tap from the back there, not finishing the pass.
Watch out, Purnell with the wheel spin. He's around backwards. Elris George, big contact with a 32. And Purnell's going to have to do the same thing. Wait until everyone's clear. Gaiman's been able to get clear. Briley Wright somehow back up to 2nd, drop down to 5th. Side by side, Cody Purnell and James Kerr. Oh, as Briley Wright got turned.
Yep, Riley Wright around as well. Just a lot of drivers not understanding the braking points here, and they're locking it up and taking drivers for a spin. Purnell's got a meatball flag, so that's going to be heat done for him. But Gaiman setting the pace here, 2 seconds clear of Kerr, who, remember, Kerr was in 9th position at the start. He's just survived the chaos. But he's going to come down to some lap traffic. You can see right there pulling off is Austin Purnell. Going to be a heat done for him. Oh,
Elris George has no steering.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Purnell sitting 3rd.
Brandon Fenderpace sitting 4th after wrong way around on lap 1.
Cody Purnell in pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
Or what you would assume would be pit lane.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Yeah, most of the work's done off the track. You see that you got a tunnel there off of turn 4. That's where most of the work ends up being done. Gaiman and Kerr. They're about to be side by side here, I think. Similar to what we saw in Heat 1 between Reynolds and Toby Estes.
What difference is Reynolds made a mistake to allow that back in. Kerr was able to chase down Gaiman, and Kerr going to get around, but Gaiman going to get to the bumper here. Going to give him a little bit of a tap, and the 75 can't hold it off into the Toyota sign there. And Joshua Gaiman going to take the lead back, and Featherplay's going to tip down to 2nd, and hopefully it is an exhibition, but hopefully some of these drivers are not going to be happy with the drivers here at the very least. So 5 to go here. Now Brendan Featherplace, remember, wrong way around lap 1. Gaiman locks up the corner. Featherplace has to lock it up to avoid him, and he loops Gaiman. So Featherplace going to take the lead. Gaiman going to have to take a 2nd, and James Kerr going to take back 2nd position. Gaiman down the 3rd. So Featherplace, kind of surviving a game of musical chairs, is now up to P1, and Gaiman down the 4th right now, about to be 5th.
Very interesting seeing how all this has come about.
Yeah, just again, seems like a lot of drivers having problems getting these cars, these basically tanks on wheels, low down. Brent Roberts, big battle here for 3rd between Roberts and the 75 Kerr here as they're coming to 2 to go. Fighting for a high spot. Brent Roberts closes the door on the 75. That's going to allow the 8 to sneak on the inside here, and they're going to be side abreast here going into 3. Big lock up there by Gaiman in the back. Not going to affect this battle. Oh, almost a synchronized loop. And And Gaiman going to sneak back to third as we see Feather Place come around to take the checkered flag, the white flag, actually, my mistake.
Checkered flag there for Feather Place. Ben Roberts was on the second. Josh Gaiman gets back to third over Bradley Wright and Ryan Pinnell, who ends up in the top 5. That was interesting.
That was interesting.
Heat race number 3 coming up. It's very rapid fire. As far as all the racing goes. For those wondering, what is the Clash? The Clash, it's a non-points event, so there's nothing on the line. No points, just bragging rights, just kicking off the season. Short track racing. Again, as we mentioned, in the heats, no cautions in the heats. There's cautions in the consolation race. There's cautions in the feature, but not in the heats. We're in the third heat here. Seth Wansing, Tom Sears, row 1. Kevin Feimster, David Wright, row 2. Withers and Oberstadt, row 3. Then Mulkey and Rupert in row 4, lining up and rounding out this third heat. And this is a very special event. It's a track that they've only ever really been to once. This is the second time for some. For a lot, it's still the first time that they've been here. And this track, it is fresh pavement, very slippery, very slick. It's very hot. Not the easiest in the world.
Nope. You see by many drivers here for just having problems getting it woe down or just making simple mistakes. But again, practicing is like trial by fire sometimes gets the best practice here. But yeah, I was going to say something. Forgot what I was going to say. But regardless, it should be quite interesting. Oh, yeah. The reason that there's no cautions is because if we had cautions, these heat races would probably be a lot longer than we need to be, and we still have a feature race to go through. And with everyone making it, kind of makes sense. Maybe not have cautions during the heats. So pace car going to pull off here. It's going to be on Seth Wansing and Tom Sears, your front row here, 1-2. And green flag in the air, and away they go off in the 1. Seth Wansing gets a great jump there. Tom Sears is going to try to keep the second position here as we see Feimster on the inside. He'll keep the line straight, and it's going to be 1-2 clean. Big move there by the 21. Oh, they touch, and there goes Sears.
There goes Sears.
Just, you don't want to be the outside going into corner 3, it seems, or else it's just not good ending for you, as we've seen so far during this race. Or these heats, I should say. It's Wansing, Wright, Feimster. Feimster's got a big train form behind him. Wansing just has a fast lap, and Sears just got put a lap down.
Feimster on the outside lane.
Everyone kind of getting in a rhythm here. Oh, 23.
That's
hard on
Withers.
the brakes. Yep. Could not get that thing woed down. He was not going to make that corner at that pace.
He got rolling really quick, too. That was a good recovery just to keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Wansing at the front of this heat.
Everyone kind of spaced out here for the most part. Close battle we do got is Feimster, Wright and Feimster, but Feimster's about 7/10 behind right here. Car around though. Ooh, that is the 42 just lost it trying to evade the lap down machine of Stefan Oberstadt. And he'll loop and he'll be down to 4th. And Feimster going to be promoted up to 2nd. As you see there, the 47 is going to get it going.
27 Jack Mulkey up to 5th. And Wansing getting around to lap the 42 of David Wright.
Mm-hmm.
There's the 88 spun around David Rupert.
Yep. David Rupert, 1 down. Well, now. He's making more scratches in the back. Oh, 42 just lost it again of David Wright. He's going to fall down to 6th position. Now 7th with Tom Sears getting around. Does kind of show, though, if you can keep your head... And maybe something we'll see for the main feature is that if you keep your head down, you can avoid the chaos and maybe sneak it around here. But Seth Wansing right now, 4 seconds, does not want to do anything silly. As we saw for the previous 2 heats, the leader with coming to 5 to go did not take the checkered flag in 1st position. So Wansing's got about a 4-second gap. He's probably going to want to basically take it conservative here. Make sure he brings that car home in 1st position. But not going to be easy when a lap down truck gives you a little bump and run there. I think that was Withers, if I'm not mistaken.
Wansing's already lapped up to second place. Kevin Feemster, who's just kind of just surviving, holding on here. Set strategy I typically would have played.
Yep. Especially in a heat race here. See, that is Tommy Withers pulling into the pit lane here.
Yeah.
Oh, 21 goes wide there. But Seth Wansing out in control here in that number 9.
2 laps to go in heat race number 3.
And Wansing running consistent laps, and he will now take the white flag lap here. A little bit of smoke ahead of him, but that will not deter him. Only got 1 vehicle ahead of him, but he should not have any real chance to catch it. As Wansing's going to come off 3 and 4 here, and he will win this heat. So first time the pole sitter has won the heat race here tonight, and that will be the number 9 of Seth Wansing, and also sets the fastest lap to boot there. 21 of Kevin Feemster going to come home in second. Rupert, who already crossed the line, will be third. Tom Sears will bring it home fourth. Mulkey will bring it home fifth. David Wright sixth. Stefan Oberstdorf seventh, and Tommy Withers rounded out with an 8th place finish. Now we're going to have 5 minutes of warm-up here. And then we're going to start the 75-lap feature.
Should be in and of itself a shorter event here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously no consolation because everyone's racing here tonight.
It's going to come down. I was listening to the race control there. There are going to be cautions for this main feature here. So if a couple cars loop and iRacing elects to throw a caution, they will throw a caution. So if everything goes quick, we may be here for maybe half an hour. If a lot of cautions are called, we may be here for a little bit longer. But I do know probably a lot of these drivers here, since they are NASCAR fans, are going to probably want to make sure we get this over with so they can go watch the rest of the clash here. So they may be more incisive to try to keep this clean. However, it does seem like a lot of drivers are taking advantage of this free warm-up here. You don't usually see that often in certain series and on the ABN channel and the series that they run, because warm-up feels like kind of a last-minute test here, but with only a lap being around 13 seconds and it's being 5 minutes of warm-up, you can, in reality, get about 4 laps a minute. So, in theory, you can get a good 20 laps at least to practice.
See the check up there behind Oberstadt.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone getting around there a little bit. A far cry from what we see at Daytona in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's an assured thing.
Yeah, we're not going to see this for a little bit. It's going to be a lot of big open tracks and wide open spaces for at least the next couple rounds after this. But maybe still the carnage, though, because we know Daytona can always be quite interesting when all the chips are on the table. It almost feels like we're LA rush hour traffic right now, just kind of watching some of these corners with 3 wide and the pit exit. Almost feels like merging onto a highway.
Has to be intentional, right?
Yeah. Minute 15 to go here. Big stack up there on the outside there. Cody Pennell jumps to the fastest. All right, 30 seconds to go here. That's correct, Mr. Exile. This is where the fun begins.
Let me some good old Star Wars references.
Pinnell saying some, just listening to racetrack. Pinnell saying some true words there. Cars are going to grid up, but they are going to wait to start the engines until the whole grid up happens.
Yeah, Toby Estes, Brandon Fetterplay, Seth Wanzing. They're going to be the top 3 in this race. Tommy Reynolds on the outside of row 2. Just looking kind of through the rest of the starting grid. Obviously, you have Ren Roberts, Kevin Feemster, Jeremy Breo, Josh Gaiman, Brian Rupert, Donald Ray, Briley Wright, Tom Sears. As we all get ready to go here. Further on down the order, Garrison, Pinnell, Mulkey, Kruger, Kerr, Wright, Leiter, Pinnell. So both Ryan and Cody Pinnell top 20 for this race. Oberstadt and Jacob Blankenship in row 11. Austin Purnell, Tommy Withers, row 12. Final row of the grid, Dustin Painter and Edwards George. 26 cars for the Coliseum. LA Clash for the second year running. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you could say that again. When they built this track, you could say it's be interesting, and same thing here. 75 laps. Some drivers want to start this exhibition race off on a bang and start the season off great. Other drivers just looking to get out and make sure they bring the car home back in one piece and get ready for Daytona. All right, pace car gonna pull in here.
For the first time in 2023, the Darkside Mustang A2 Cup Series season is underway. Green flag from Los Angeles.
So yeah, everyone got relatively okay off here on the start. Not seeing anyone wrong way around for the most part here. But Toby Estes going to hold station least in 1. Okay, do see a little bit of smoke there, and that's not going to be good for front of the field, as that's going to stack them all up in front. The leaders nowhere to go. Multiple cars involved. It's basically a car park. But Seth Wanzing sneaks through at the very least. But Toby, wondering where the caution may have been called earlier, but Ireson didn't throw it.
Well, Austin Purnell's at the back of the field. They were hoping he'd get rolling. We're not even sure. We honestly didn't even pop up first that he spun.
Yeah. It's going to take a few competitive cars and give him some damage. So a bit chaotic opening start there at the very least. I'm kind of just waiting for timing and scoring to kind of update here. It's just being such a short track and such a long thing. We'll pull the replay up here as Carmen was able to find it.
I'm not sure if this is it, because this is the green flag. Purnell was already in pit lane, so it wasn't Purnell. It had to be Withers.
Maybe up.
Yeah,
yep,
Withers was turned by Elvis George.
And then hits the wall, and then backs it up, and field had nowhere to go. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. Maybe argue towing, but just such a short lap time. There's really nowhere to go at that point. Like, if he hangs on the wall, someone's going to hit him regardless. So 3 cars. Actually, I'm just kind of... Time scoring is basically lighting up like a Christmas tree here. But I think Wanzing is currently in the way with Breo second, Feather Place third, and Rupert fourth. That's going to be your top 4 here. No Chusco here tonight.
But there will be 2 weeks from now in Daytona.
Mm-hmm. There we go. So Pace are going to pull in. 6 laps already completed. We're going to start number 7. And Wanzing gets a good jump there. He's going to well clear the 74. Breo could be under pressure here from Feather Place. Bit of a lock break there from the car there in that purple and white machine. But again, looks like everyone's okay for the most part here. Don't see anyone smoke or any loops. You can see very argy-bargy here basically on the back here. Everyone's just trying to find a spot and slot it in. Back to the lead. We do have a pass here for the lead. Breo going deep there on Seth Wanzing. And he cannot finish the pass. And kind of gives Wanzing some help through the corner. Sometimes 8 tires is better than 4. And Wanzing's still going to hold station. There you can see the 2 trying to make a move on the 61 of Gaiman. Tom Sears there as well. Ready to capitalize if something happens. Oh, car on the wall. It's a 21 that just hit that inside wall hard.
Teamster.
Sorry, Teamster. That just shows fresh pavement, slippery surface. Car can kick out sometimes. And things can happen. Wanzing getting some breathing room from Breo. For the most part, top 5 all kind of settling into their races, but things they will catch lap traffic here relatively quickly, being such a big field. So that's a good chance. We do see a car wrong way around there on the wall.
That is... I have to double check here.
Yeah,
Dustin
my track
Painter it was.
Dustin Painter, thank you. Luckily out of the way. We'll see a move here.
As Overstack got spun.
Almost collected Wanzing, our race leader.
Overstack pulling it and within the wall here. Smart idea.
Probably for the best. Come out back out the pit lane and take a safe entry.
Another car spun.
Did it get it re-going? And that will be a caution. Oh, that is for the 75 in the corner 2 there. You'll see him right there backwards.
James Kerr.
One-time winner here at Fontana in 2022. Still just kind of hard to find a place to spin it around because there's really no openings. There goes the pace car by. I'm going to assume the caution was for him. Yes, it was. So I guess you can say the one downside of this is that re-racking the field puts a pressure back on Wanzing, Breo, Roberts, because they were all pretty much checked out from the rest of the pack, and now you basically kind of fed a stake to the Lions. Now the pack's going to try to re-catch here. It's going to be up to the leaders to try to get around it. They're all going to go around the pace car here. Kind of, actually, some of them are just trying to stay on the lead lap and get back around.
Alrighty. The Wanzing leads are Breo, Bryn Roberts, and Brandon Fetter Place. Josh Gaiman sits in the 5th spot ahead of Donald Ray and McCruger in 7th. Then it's Tom Sears, Bradley Wright, Cody Pennell, Brian Rupert in 11th. A lot of big gainers in the top 10.
Yeah. Just survive the chaos, you can get up and have a chance to refight. We know Toby is currently in 11th. He started on pole and trying to get his way back up. We also know Tommy Reynolds is quite fast as well, now 13.
Estes sitting in 16th. Reynolds sitting in 18th. Getting ready to go back to green here after our second caution.
So Wansing and Breo taking it back to the restart again. Pace car in. And away they go. Wansing gets another great jump there and he's going to clear the 74 for the most part. 74 going to slot in the second. Looks like, again, a few lockups in the back, but everyone's still pointing the right direction. Wansing wants to get a move done here quickly because he knows he doesn't want to allow... sorry, Breo wants to get a move done on Wansing quickly. And we're going to have a quick caution here right on the start-finish straight. Big car park. You can see the 50 around.
Yeah, it'd be Cody Pennell.
Mm-hmm. And he'll luckily, I think, be able to keep his lap, possibly, but we'll see.
Yep.
Yep, Iris will allow him to go back around.
So here's what happened to Cody Pennell.
Oh, big contact with Donald Ray in front of him. And then, yep. An incident he wasn't involved in, and then kind of the end pieces of it he got collected in. And nothing really Cody Pennell could do. And that triggered the caution.
A little bit of an onboard here.
So he gets around the 2, and the 2 just goes a little bit too high into the corner because you can see the 70 right there, and then gets hooked, and then that's straight face you do not want to see as a driver. Wrong way around, and a bunch of cars pointing the right way, looking directly at you.
Third caution of the night. As we all get ready to go here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the tale of the two series champions. Jimmy Breo, the defending series champion, Seth Wansing, a two-time series champion from 2021 and beforehand. They've been at the front of this field. So interesting way to kick off the season. Having the two champions of the series go head to head.
Yep. Definitely a good trendsetter. Remember, in real life, the winner of the Clash in real life last year, Logano, ended up winning the championship, so Mace had some good omens if you win the Clash. You know, Wansing gets good jumps here in restarts, so it's going to be up to Breo to try to stay close here. His car in. Restart of the night, and away we go. Wansing with another great jump, and Brent Roberts could capitalize here, going into 1 on Breo. He'll have the inside third line, but will not be able to finish it. And we can see 74 Breo going to try to tough it around the outside to get around Wansing. Wansing going to take the short way around.
Breo clear and talks for a caution.
Yep. Oh, and you can see right in front there, that's what's causing the problem. Big car park, and I'm guessing maybe something to do with David Wright here, at least from looking at the chat. Luckily, the damage is virtual because some of these cars would definitely be pretty wrecked at the end of this. So we'll take a look at the replay here.
This is on the restart. Oh.
David Wright kind of just went hard in that corner and then basically made it a car park city. All the lanes were blocked.
And the leaders are coming through and they have nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm. Some make it through, but others really had to slow it down. You can see, I think that's Game, and they kind of just gave the 1 a little tap, and the 1 still can't really do anything. So you'll get your spots back, but still just a bit of a scary moment because you can get damage from those. So 4th caution here tonight, lap 32 of 75. It's not going to be up to Breo here to really take advantage of the restart, because he was able to tough it around before the caution came out. And now Breo's going to have that preferred inside, and it's going to be up to Wands and take the jump. On that, we got Robert still in 3rd, Feather Place in 4th, Gaiman in 5th. The top 5 really hasn't changed all that much.
Alrighty, here we go. Green flag back in the air.
Breo gets an alright launch there. Bren Roberts, though, going to be on the inside. 9 going to have to try to clear. Looks like the 9 will successfully do that. We have another quick caution in the back here as well. It's going to be the 33 that's the long way around. That's going to be Jacob Blankenship and 32 as well. Leader's going to come up and catch this, so they better get on the brakes quick. Still a bit of blockage here, just off 3 and 4. As we're getting now blocked by the building. There we go. No. Looks like it happened a little bit earlier than this, and it looks like probably was, again, Cody Pinnell seems to have been involved, along with a 33. Or 32, my mistake. Taking a look here, see if we can kind of decipher. 32 going to come in. Ooh, he looks okay. Oh, the 8 went around and caused a stack up there. So it was the 8 of Riley Wright that kind of caused everyone else to check up there. So, yep, you can see he gets a little help from Donald Ray. Donald Ray, or maybe that was Blankenship who lagged a little. So back it up here. Go onto an onboard camera here. Oh, Donald Ray. Goes deep into the corner. Yep, no, he's the one that gave the 8 a little bit of a tap. And now we'll cut on the Donald Riley right here's onboard perspective. And again, where you don't want to be. Wrong way around. Car's trying to get around you. And there goes the pace car. Luckily that thing's got no clip, or else you block. Anyway, green flag back in the air here. So we'll come back to the action here. Breo gonna hold station on Wanzing here. And again, pretty much the same restart we've had the past couple times. Inside gets a good launch. Outside cannot hang on. Oh, we do have a car slow down. It's a 42. He's gonna stack the field up in the middle. Gaming gonna tap someone there. And similar to the opening restart, lap down vehicle, maybe not lap down vehicle, but car loses it on front stretch, and lead pack has to try to avoid, take evasive action. And a couple drivers are going to end up losing big there. So we'll take a look at the replay. David Wright, let's see if he got some help from someone. And yep, that's going to be the 7 of Tommy Reynolds here. Ooh. Interesting. Then 42 can't really find a clear spot to go, and then gets it looped. And by that point, here come the leaders, and just a bit of a odd situation there. I will hold my words. But anyway, Breo still has the lead. Wanzing second. This is probably something where, again, if this holds, Breo's going to be thanking his stars that he got ahead on that restart before the caution came out, because now he controls it. Kruger and Sears 6th and 7th respectively. They've made a quite climb here. We'll see how it all shakes up here. As I think the pace car is going to go around one more time here. Lights are still on. But we should be going green this time by. My math counting skills are correct.
That is correct. Let the pace car off.
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is just kind of Coliseum racing. But Jeremy Breo going to be on control here. Wanzing again. We're going to go green here for the 7th time here tonight. And it looks like Wanzing tried to get a good jump there. Roberts timed it well, and he's going to have the inside here for the corner. Could put some pressure on for second position. A little bit back. See the 70 go just a tail squirrely, but he keeps it straight. But that's going to cause a caution a little bit further back. And Roberts was able to get around Wanzing, so Roberts is now going to line up on the outside. Wanzing's now going to fall down the 3rd. So we have another couple pace laps here. We'll take a look at the replay and see what happened. Focused on perspective, and just gets a big tap there from the back there. And again, kind of a similar situation. When one goes around, it's kind of hard to take evasive action, and multiple cars there end up packing it up. And see good loop around there, but caution's still going to get called. Some cars are still pinned on the inside. So under caution, we will hit lap 50. We'll be within 25 to go here to the end of this race. Defending champion Breo, who had a poor qualifying effort, but did make some good progress in the heat race, currently leads the way. Bren Roberts 2nd, Wanzing 3rd, Gaiman 4th, Feder place 5th, Sears 6th, Kruger 7th, Rupert 8th, Ray 9th, and Garrison 10th. They will round out your top 10 here. There will be 3 green-white checkered attempts, as I think Carmen just let us know in the chat there. Available. But just in case you're watching this replay, there will be 3 green-white checkered attempts available to these drivers if they are needed. So anyway, pace car going to pull in here. It's going to be on Breo's control. Breo away. And Robert's going to try to keep it close here, but it's going to be Seth Wanzing on the inside here, but a little bit of a lockup. It's going to allow Roberts at least a chance to hold station. Smooth sailing for the most part up front. And it looks like I'm not seeing anyone around, so I think we're going to get at least 1 lap done here. Roberts going to set sail. In second, going to try to chase down Breo. Gaiman on the outside there. Ooh, I think a car kind of went up and got washed there. Maybe just a bit of a smoke. But Robert Wanzing Gaiman is riding aboard here with Kruger, currently sitting in 6th position, just trying to find an open avenue to make something happen. But no one really to do in this opportunity because the inside is currently being occupied by Brandon Featherplace. See right there, though, just up the road, you see Wanzing trying to hang it on Gaiman. They're going to catch a lap down vehicle here, and that's going to be another quick caution called here. As it is for the 21 who almost hits Breo there. A bunch of cars will make evasive action.
It was Feimster and Cody Pennell. You see the smoke off of Emma Kruger's machine as trying to navigate all of the chaos.
We'll take a look here. Right on board here with Feimster. Smoke ahead and just, yep, 33 came a little aggressive. 21 tried to clear and just couldn't make it happen. And then track block where the leaders coming, caution had to be called. Almost hit Breo. And we'll re-rack him. And now watch Branko's perspective here because he was the one that got into Feimster. See what caused him to end up going the wrong way around. Big check up in the middle there. Tried to split the middle. And he just looped on his own. And then got a little bit of help from Cody Pennell. So he was going the wrong way around, going to loop it anyway. But Pennell did give him a little tap there to finish him off. And oh, Bradley Wright as well, along with...
That's Brian Rupert in the 70 and the 88.
Yep. And Pennell also gets involved. So a bunch of cars there. From straight. And
it wasn't like a single, it wasn't just a single accident, it was a lot of smaller accidents that kind of just happened around the lap.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good angle from high above using the ABM blimp.
Yeah.
Almost makes it feel like slot car racing.
Yeah. Like we got the controls up here in the front, or all of them are getting controlled by in the booth, or spotter's tower. But anyway, pace car going to come in. Breo, Roberts, your front two. Gaiman in third. And Breo does not get that good of a launch here. It's going to be under pressure from Roberts on the outside, but he's going to be able to close the door. But Gaiman going to try to possibly throw it up the inside here. Not going to get it done. But Gaiman gets stacked. Oh, Brent Roberts around. He has looped it, and that's going to open the door for Gaiman to take second. No caution called as he's down below the surface, and he's going to come in the pit lane. So from 0 to 0 for the 1, and if he's not careful, gets it fired quick, he is going to be put 1 down. This Breo is going to catch a little smoke there in other instances, but we're keeping it straight. Can Gaiman catch up the Breo, and that will be a caution call there. Brennan's a little bit further back there. You can see the smoke off in the 2. So the chaos will continue. Take a look at the replays. You're watching the blimp camera. Looks like Jack Mulkey was involved. The incident happened before him.
It's Seth Wansing.
Yep. The two drivers that were fighting for the lead just many laps ago are now both really behind the 8 ball here in 14th and 15th respectively. So within 10 to go here. Not what Breo probably wanted to see, because now he's going to have a bit of a hungry game in behind him, along with a better place. Even while the caution, it still has been a very quick event here. So we only have lapsed about 30 minutes in race time. Is currently on 29. Again, the only kind of downside I can say is since there's no pit stops required, you don't see drivers trying alternate strategies and get shuffled up. So if the driver stays out front, he stays out in front unless he makes a mistake.
Get ready to go back to green here with less than 10 laps to go in this feature race. It's Breo, Gaiman, third place, top 3. Tom Sears in 4th. Green flag back in the air.
Gaiman going to be under pressure from
and
Feather
Gaiman
Place.
already contact with third place.
Oh, car around. I think that was the James Kerr, if I'm not mistaken. And that will be another caution called.
It wasn't Kerr. Kerr's in the 75, and we're looking at him right now.
Maybe it was Bradley Wright? Could have been Ryan Pinnell. Someone looped it coming off the corner. Well, I guess we'll find out in the magic replay here. My first guess was going to be Wright, but I saw the 75 dropping, but I think it was Briley. Yep. Ooh, big tap from behind. Yep. And then also, I think Pinnell as well. So yeah, a couple drivers involved there. As again, just kind of a bit of a track blocker.
Kerr was involved in it. He's the one that gave a massive shot to Bradley Wright to make that happen.
We'll take another perspective here as we'll ride on board here with the onboard camera up.
It's
Bradley Wright.
It's gonna be a spicy one.
Wink. Big old shove there. And then 7, Tommy Reynolds, you can see wrong way around as well. Yeah, a lot of these drivers are just going to be glad when Daytona comes in a couple of weeks. Or I guess next week, the main race too. Now ride James Kerr here, who gave the shunt. Are on the brakes and just couldn't get it woe down in time. All right, so 3 to go here. Not in green light checkered situation yet.
We will be. This will be the first attempt, if my math is correct.
Yep, and you were correct. This race will be extended.
3
So
green light checkered attempts. 10th caution of the race.
2 laps still home. Can Braille hold on, or will Gaiman or Feather Place or even Sears or Kruger have a chance to maybe capitalize and pick up the pieces? Only time will tell. We are back green underway for green white checkered 1, and you can see Gaiman gets a relatively good jump, but you can usually not hang around the outside, and Braille will clear out stage. At the back, Feather Place going to be under pressure going to the next corner, but they're going to see the white flag as long as no caution calls. Big lockup by the M&M machines, and the white flag is in the air. Braille's going to try to break it home. Big loop on the backstretch there. Could be a bit of an odd situation when they come around. Can Gaiman have a chance to either answer back? Going to try to hang it high. Cannot do it. Jeremy Braille will end up winning the clash here and start the season on a high as Gaiman will come home in 2nd. Feather Place in 3rd. Kruger in 4th. And Tom Sears in 5th. As that will be your top 5. As you see a bunch of drivers just hitting up the drivers here as they cross the finish line. Just said over the mic, I think the driver that won got 25 iRacing dollars, so good for
Correct.
Jeremy Braille
Yeah.
in that regard. So Braille going to burn it down here in the Coliseum. Yeah, that's how the defending champion sets it off right. Ends up winning the first exposition race here. And we'll burn it down.
Yeah, we'll go through the results here because some interesting results in the Clash. Obviously, the Clash, very much an outlier event. Just as a whole, an outlier event. But interesting results. Some interesting drivers there in the top 10.
Yeah. Definitely another chat going crazy on this one. Emma Kruger in 4th position. Not really the strongest stock cars, not really her expertise, and yet still brings home in 4th position.
Obviously, Jeremy Breo burning it down there.
Mm-hmm. And don't go anywhere. Presumably, we'll have interviews here for the top 3 of Breo, Gaiman, and Featherplace, if they so choose, as we get everything sorted.
Yeah, tonight was a big night tonight for Lion Power Motorsports. We'll see if we can look at the results here.
Mm-hmm.
There they are. So here's what it looks like. Obviously, Beatron Racing 1-2 with Breo and Gaiman here. Brandon Fetterplace, though, Emma Kruger, Tom Sears, Lion Power Motorsports, 3 of their 4 cars top 5 in this race. Presidential Racing with Donald Ray, Prophecy Motorsports with Josh Garrison in the top 10. Ryan Pinnell starting off the season with a top 10 as well. Seth Wanzing, 2-time series champion, sitting in 9th place at the finish. He was around more, I think, at least 3 times in this race. Bradley Wright rounding out the top 10. Just an interesting little rundown here, especially those on the lead lap. A couple of rookies sitting in the top 10 here. Brian Rupert 11th, Jack Mulkey 12th, Bren Roberts 13th, Withers 14th, Toby Estison 15th. You look at David Wright, Edwards George, Matthew Leiter. And then as you look down the grid here, all the way down to 26th, yeah, Austin Purnell, who didn't get to do much here. Same with Cody Pennell. Yeah, Kevin Feemster 24th, Jacob Blankenship 23rd. Jeremy Breo wins the Clash to kick off his championship defense.
Sets himself on the right track.
I'm assuming some drivers will probably be just frustrated here, but we do have interviews. We have interviews with the podium finishers here tonight. We'll start with Brandon Fetterplace. Brandon, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yep, what's going on?
Obviously, you think about you. First of all, congrats on the 3rd place finish. Absolute insanity here throughout the night. Obviously, the Clash is a unique event. It's a one-off event, but a lot of contact, a little bit of elbows out racing to kind of get everything out of the way before Daytona. Just walk us through how you got to survive all that stuff. Obviously, you spent a lot of it up front, but even then it wasn't safe.
I mean, to be honest with you, I have zero idea. There were cars everywhere. There was stuff happening. I mean, I'm sure as you could see on the broadcast, I mean, there was constant beating and banging all over the place. So I'm just lucky to be where I was at.
Obviously, we talked about the draft and how much that shook everything up. And that's made itself very apparent here tonight. Obviously, you're part of Lion Power Motorsports. You had Emma, Tom, first time as a race, as a team, and 3 of you in the top 5. How has the team chemistry building been for that team, and how does this kind of set the tone for how you guys approach Daytona?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, we have a lot of experience here, you know, and a lot of communication, and you know, we're able to trade notes and, you know, kind of, you know, learn off of one another. So I think this is a good indication of how this season is getting ready to go. I think they should watch out for us.
Well, the Clash out of the way now. Obviously, you look forward. Obviously, you look at the 250, you look at qualifying and the duels for that. Obviously, you look at the team building and just sharing notes and everything getting underway. how do you carry this momentum forward? How do you build that up?
Really just solid finishes. Tonight, if we could run like this every week, we're going to be solid. So I think just taking it 1 week at a time, getting your practice in, getting your notes sharing, getting everybody on pace, and I think it'll be just fine. It's a long season. We got a long way to go. So, take every race for how it is.
Well, Brandon, obviously, third place, even if it's just a clash, still a good way to start off the season. Obviously, a lot of huge changes here, but if there's anyone you want to shout out, obviously, first time we've been able to interview you on ABN Broadcasting. But if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, Brandon, the floor is yours. Congrats on third place here tonight.
I appreciate it. Thanks to Tom Sears and Line Power for picking me up this season, and Ghost Energy for being on the car. Thanks to my teammates for helping out, and thanks to everybody in the broadcast booth for everything that you do, and we'll see y'all next week.
Alrighty, Brandon. Well, again, congratulations. Can't wait to see what everyone looks like at Daytona, and we'll be watching.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. That was Brandon Fetterplace, our third place finisher here tonight, kicking off the season well with Line Power Motorsports. But now we've got two more people to interview. We got Josh Game and Jeremy Breo. Josh Game, second place finisher. We'll talk to him here in just a second. Josh, it's Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Alrighty. So obviously, kind of shared your thoughts about it a little bit in the Twitch chat. But obviously, you took part in last year's clash. Took part in this year's clash. Moods just overall seem to be a little bit lighter this time around. Kind of just walk us through your experience in the clash tonight. Obviously, you've experienced both. What made it different this year, and what made it more enjoyable?
I feel like last year a lot of the crashes were just people getting really angry at each other and just flat out, driving them all the way to the wall of Matt Kenseth's style. And this year was just the combination of a super loose setup on exit and just people not being able to, get into the corners and everything. So it was a lot of just silly mistakes and stack ups, really. But compared to how the car was when it came out to how it drives now, it's just more fun. It was just really silly the whole time, and we were just sitting in Discord kind of just laughing at the whole race, basically.
That's what we love to hear, right? Like, you want to start the season off, and obviously you want to start the season off with a little bit of fun, and that's kind of what this is, right? It's a race. You don't get to do pit stops. You don't get to do anything like that. You don't focus on anything like that. You just go out and you beat and bang. We saw that in practice. We saw that in the heats. With everyone coming to mind, obviously you look at how much has changed. Not even like looking at like how the cars changed, but how the series has changed. Who all's been allowed in? How the procedure is. Do you think that kind of helped? Like putting a lot of the people in together that you can kind of trust, that people that are consistent, people that are kind of reliable. Do you think that kind of helped lift the spirits a little bit, knowing that there's not really a lot of bad apples in this field?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I'm not going to name names, but some of the people that were the biggest problems last year aren't here and didn't even finish last year's season. So, yeah, it was definitely just like a little bit more lighthearted going into it. And if anybody hit me or if I hit anybody, it was just like, I feel like that's kind of the point of this race at the moment is everybody just get it out of your system now. That way it's not there for Daytona.
Well, obviously, being lighthearted, it kind of helps cleans the palette here, going obviously into what really matters, and that's Daytona. And the season actually beginning, the points, none of that mattered here. But now you got 10 days to get ready for the duels and get ready for the 250. Now you got to kind of shift that. And as much as we talk about like this race kind of just for fun, a 1-2 for the team, that's still momentum that you can kind of carry into Florida in 2 weeks. How do you keep that in the bottle? And how do you kind of just build on that? Because obviously Beachron Racing had a little bit more of a mixed experience. Obviously you and Jeremy at the front, but it wasn't always that way for the rest of the team. How do you build on that, and how you kind of just adjust and get settled in and focused on the start of the season?
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty mixed bag, but we just got to really focus on um, working with each other and getting used to how each driver, the little quirks, whether one guy's better at leading or following in the pack and everything, and we'll just kind of just see how it goes, really.
Well, obviously, it's always fun watching you race. Obviously, we got to see you race last night. We got to see the actual paint scheme for tonight's race. We got all that stuff figured out, so we got to see the blue and yellow that you've dawned on so much over the past year and a half. But is anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to? Josh, again, the floor is yours. Congrats. Second place finish tonight to kick off the 2023 A-Square Cup Series season. Well done, and can't wait to see a little bit more of the battling going on at Daytona.
Yeah, of course, thanks for Jeremy for drafting me. I guess you could say I wasn't expecting to be the first pick, but I wasn't really surprised either with, looking at me and Jeremy's stats from last season. I think we had the majority of the wins between the two of us in the regular season.
Yeah.
So, that's really awesome that, we have that much going on just between the two of us, and then we have other people that, are filling in the gaps everywhere else. I got to thank, Makoni Setup Shop, 213 Simware, and W Energy, all for, allowing me to partner with them for like the last, almost year now. And hopefully we'll be able to carry that through 2023 and further beyond, obviously. Everyone at ARCS, last A-Squared season was an absolute blast all the way through. We had some bad races, obviously, but I think that's literally every single league. There's never a league that doesn't have a bad race at least once. Everybody, at ABN that puts the show together.
Well, Josh, obviously it was fun watching you race last night. It was fun watching you tonight. It's going to be fun watching you race on Thursday nights in Champ Car. Again, congrats on the second place finisher at the Clash. Can't wait to see what you all put together at Daytona. We'll be watching. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
That was Josh Gaiman, second place finisher here tonight at the Clash at the Coliseum. We got one more interview, and it's the defending series champion, Jeremy Breo, that we get to talk to here in just a second. Jeremy, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty. Nothing says defending a championship like winning on the first race of the season, points race or not. 1-2 finish for Beachron Racing tonight, you and Josh Gaiman. It was the you and Seth Wanting show for a little bit, the two series champions going at it, and you always got the advantage there. Obviously, a little bit more lighthearted from what we've kind of gathered here. First off, just kind of compare how this race went compared to last season. It seems like everyone's a bit more lighthearted and a little bit more loose this season compared to last year.
Yeah, I think everybody just kind of got the jitters out from last year, because last year was their first race for A-Squared on iRacing. So this year it's a year removed from our first race on here, so it's definitely a lot more relaxed. It's not for points. Everybody already knows each other for the most part, except for a couple new guys that came in the off season. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and everybody who had a lot of fun we're all laughing with each other and all having a good time, and it was just a lot of fun, especially that battle between me and Seth, and then Bren was up there, and we're just beating and banging short track style at a quarter mile on a Sunday night. So that was a lot of fun.
Obviously, a lot has changed, right? We talk about the quality of the field, how much it's improved. We talked to Josh Gaiman about how much that mattered. Obviously, you lead Beachron Racing, and being able to lead the team and getting a 1-2 here to kick off 2023 is a big deal. But now it's all set sail on Daytona, and plate racing, now that we have the teams that we have, is going to be important. Team chemistry, where do you feel like the team's at right now, and how do you kind of work on improving that if you need to for the start of the season?
Going back to everybody's laughing and having a good time, at least in our chat, we were having a great time. Everybody's, just shooting ideas off each other, cracking jokes. So everybody just seems to be getting along well. But that's early in the season. So we'll have to see how we all work together at Daytona. It's a whole different ball game there. It's quadruple the size of this place. So, I mean, like you said, teamwork's going to be key there. So we'll probably have a practice session here or there as a team or something. We'll have the duels coming up, I'm pretty sure. I don't know when those are. I'm pretty
10
sure
days away.
More than. There you go. So yeah. But yeah, that'll be our first big test session as a team actually working together. But personalities don't clash, so that's good so far.
Well, that's obviously fantastic here, because obviously you don't want to have a team that already struggles this early on. It seems like, obviously, we've been able to talk to, obviously, you and Gaiman, Overstat. Obviously, he's almost got like his own little mascot over there with Ralph. Happy to see Ralph on the car there in the 47. Obviously, winning the Clash with how intense and how very cutthroat it was last season, fantastic to see that everyone's kind of just relaxing and laughing it off, but still a win nonetheless. Way to kick off the 2023 season, the way you ended 2022. If there's anyone you want to shout and say thank you to, obviously the floor is yours. Again, congrats on winning here at the Clash. Always fun seeing you here. Obviously, another really good paint, but this time LA focused. Was able to see that a lot up front. So if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congrats.
Yeah, so first of all, got to thank Smill Racing Designs. He and his wife worked tirelessly to get me the best schemes out here. So thank you to them. They came up with the scheme. I came up with the concept, but they fulfilled it for me. So thank you to them. Seth Wansing and the whole Wansing family for sponsoring me as well with Midwest Barbecue, the best damn barbecue equipment in the Midwest. So go check them out at midwestbarbecue.com. And thank you, Carmen, for coming back and putting this on for the full season again.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm happy to be here, and glad we can bring it to AVN for the 2023 season. Jeremy, again, congrats. Defending champion, kicking off the new season with a win. Enjoy it. Can't wait to see what you all put together at Daytona.
All righty, thank you. See you at Daytona.
See ya. That was Jeremy Breo, race winner here at the Clash for the second running. 1-2 finish for B-Tron Racing. As we get ready here again, looking down the order once again, it's Breo, Gaiman, Fetter Place, Kruger, Sears, Ray, top 6, Josh Garrison, top 7, Ryan Pinnell, 8th, Seth Wansing, 9th, Briley Wright rounding out the top 10 here at the Coliseum. We get a little bit of time until we get to the duels at Daytona. Next Sunday, we don't have any A-squared action because that is the Super Bowl. But you look at it, we follow the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. So the next A-squared event, it's going to be on the 16th of February. That's the duels and qualifying for the Daytona 250. And then the 19th is the ARCS Daytona 250, the season starter, the season opener, Super Bowl for ARCS competition. So that's what that looks like here. For us, we continue action tomorrow night. HCL Cup Series action from Talladega. Ryan Pinnell, a couple of ARCS drivers will be in that race. Ryan Pinnell, Tommy Withers, among others, in that race. Excited to see what they put together tomorrow night from Alabama. And then Wednesday night, AVN High Performance action returns on Wednesday night in Europe to continue off the second half of that World Championship campaign. It's between two drivers, Emma Kruger, Derek Miller. We get to hear Emma Kruger's name a lot. We're also going to hear about Ryan Pinnell, Tommy Withers. We'll get to hear a lot more about Jeremy Breo, Josh Gaiman as we get into the month of February and through into March. Kevin, a wild Coliseum race, but now all the work actually begins. Our final thoughts on the night's race?
I mean, I hope a lot of these drivers don't take it too much to heart, even though it does kind of stink if you had a poor finish. It is an exhibition race, and even though you may not won the $25, the real goal starts in about 10 days for the duels and a little bit more than 14 away for the actual Super Bowl of the ARCS Square Cup Series, Daytona, the Daytona 500, basically, or Daytona 100 lap, basically. And regardless, I think it's going to be quite fun to watch, as you're going to see a lot of drivers go daring at Daytona. But for the Coliseum, it was a bit of a chaotic race, but you kind of expect that with being such a short track. But hopefully the jitters are out, the drivers get it all nice and warmed up, and we have a good showing at Daytona in about 10 days.
Well, that'll do it from us here at LA. For everyone, on behalf of ARCS, on behalf of the Darkside Mustangs A-Squared Cup Series season, perhaps on behalf of Windy Chevrolet, I'm Carmen Hardy, alongside me Kevin Young. Thank you for tuning in to ABN on Sunday evening here from the Coliseum. We'll see you tomorrow night at Talladega for the HTL Cup Series, but until then, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun this week. See you next time.